The streets of Chicago are quiet, but not for long, because Tommy Egan is back. And this time, he's not just fighting for power, he's fighting with nothing left to lose. The trailer for Season 3, Episode 1 doesn't just tease his return. It screams war. His eyes say it, all cold, distant, and ready to burn everything in his path. This isn't the same Tommy we knew from Season 1. No jokes, no second chances, just fire, blood, and business. And in this first look, it's clear. Tommy's heart may be broken, but his hands are dead steady, asterisk after everything he's lost. Tommy Egan walks into Season 3 like a man reborn through fire, and not in a good way. The last time we saw him, he had lost Liliana, a trusted ally who had become something more. Her death wasn't just a blow to his crew, it cracked something deep inside Tommy. He's always been tough. But this time, he's hollow in a dangerous way. The trailer shows Tommy moving through the streets like a ghost with a mission. No hesitation, no emotion. Just quiet rage wrapped in control. Tommy has always been about power and loyalty, but now it feels like he's done waiting for others to catch up. There's a scene in the trailer where he lights a cigarette and stares into the distance. That moment, though silent, says everything. He's not just planning to take over, he's planning to erase everyone who gets in his way. It's personal now. And when it gets personal for Tommy, people die. This version of Tommy isn't wild or reckless like he once was in New York. He's more calculated. Like a man who has nothing left to protect except his own mission, and that mission? Complete. Dominance of Chicago's drug game. He's not out here to play king, he's here to become the whole empire. From what we've seen, his strategy has shifted. He's no longer relying on shaky alliances or half-truths. He's taking control from the front, leading with force. Even his body language in the trailer shows its shoulders squared, jaw tight, eyes locked. That's not a man with doubts. That's a man who's already decided what he's going to do, and how far he's willing to go. What's even more chilling is the way he talks now, calm, direct, and deadly serious. In one voiceover clip, Tommy says something like, "You think I came here to lose?" That one line cuts through the noise. He's done losing. Season 3, Episode 1 marks the return of a version of Tommy we haven't fully seen yet, a Ruthless strategist, no longer held back by loyalty, love, or weakness. And let's talk about trust. If there's one thing Tommy hates more than betrayal, it's having to depend on people he doesn't trust. But after what happened with the Flynn family, the Serbs, and even his own crew, he seems to have made peace with the idea that trust is a luxury he can't afford anymore. He's taking control with his own hands, and that makes him more dangerous than ever. This new mindset affects everything: how he moves, who he works with, and what kind of violence he's willing to unleash. The trailer hints at that shift with quick shots of Tommy surrounded by guns, money, and maps. He's building something, but it's not just a drug network. It looks like a war plan. His face tells you all you need to know. He's not running from his past anymore. He's using it as fuel. We also get brief glimpses of flashbacks in the trailer shots that look like memories of Liliana, Ghost, and even old moments from New York. These aren't just fan service. They're reminders that Tommy has carried all this pain with him. But instead of it breaking him, it's sharpened him. He's not haunted, he's powered up. This version of Tommy is brutal, focused, and stripped of any distractions. Season 3, Episode 1 doesn't just bring him back, it upgrades him into a full-blown boss. And when Tommy finally starts speaking, you can feel the weight behind his words. No more empty threats, no more chaos without purpose. Every step he takes now leads to something big and blood-soaked. The streets may not know it yet, but Chicago is about to become Tommy's city. And Episode 1 is just the spark. Asterisk, the balance of power in Chicago is on a knife's edge, and Tommy Egan isn't the only one holding a blade. Season 3, Episode 1 makes it clear. Everyone wants a piece of the throne, but only one man is ready to burn the city down to take it. And just when Tommy seems like he's got control, new threats rise from every direction, some familiar, others from the shadows. Let's start with the biggest shift. The city itself feels different. The trailer gives off a sense that Chicago has become more unstable. There's a darkness creeping in, more sirens, more double crosses, more blood in the streets. Tommy's silence is met with whispers from all corners of the city. Who's going to stop him? Who's going to take him down before he becomes unstoppable? But the real tension lies in the new faces that emerge. Brief glimpses in the trailer show unknown players, well-dressed, quiet, watching Tommy from a distance. These aren't street-level gangsters, these are boardroom sharks. Clean on the surface, but deadlier than anyone Tommy's faced before. A woman in a tailored suit standing in front of a skyline says, "He's a problem we should have handled sooner." That one line teases an entirely new layer to the game corporate money mixing with street power. Tommy may rule the blocks, but now it looks like someone is pulling strings from the top floors. Then there's the return of chaos from within. Jenard may have lost ground in Season 2, but that doesn't mean he's out. The trailer hints at him. Regrouping, possibly forming a new alliance. His line, "I'm not done yet," feels less like a threat and more like a promise. He knows Tommy better than most. He knows how to get under his skin. And with nothing to lose, Jenard is a wild card, unpredictable and desperate. A man like that is dangerous. Diamond, too, stands at a crossroad. Once the calm voice in the storm, he now looks uncertain. In one quick trailer shot, he's seen talking with someone in a dark alley, his face tense. Is he switching sides? Or is he playing both ends, trying to survive while the city collapses around him? The Flynn family also isn't out of the picture. Claudia might be wounded, but she's not weak. There's a moment in the trailer where she meets with someone behind closed doors. She's dressed in all black, her eyes cold. If anyone has learned how to manipulate power and use grief as fuel, it's her. Could she strike a secret deal with Jenard? Or even worse, with one of these new outside players? One thing's for sure, if Claudia returns to the game, it won't be to play nice, and then we have a complete mystery, a masked shooter shown for only half a second in the trailer. The scene flashes fast, but the intention is clear. Someone is coming for Tommy, whether it's revenge, money, or fear. Someone wants him gone. And whoever it is, they're operating from the dark. No face. No name, just bullets. That's not gang behavior, that's assassination. What's most intense is that Tommy seems unbothered. He knows they're coming. He just doesn't care. He's not running or hiding, instead he's preparing. In one clip, he looks over a map with red markings and coded names. It looks like a battle plan. This isn't survival. This is domination. Tommy isn't waiting to defend himself, he's planning to wipe out the threat before it breathes. But that mindset has a cost. The more ruthless he becomes, the more alone he gets, and the more enemies he makes. That's what makes this season feel different. It's not just about drug corners and turf wars. It's about trust, betrayal, and the thin line between empire and extinction. Because in Chicago, the moment you blink someone takes your seat. Tommy may be moving with purpose, but the city is responding with venom. Old enemies are watching, new ones are closing in. And even the allies he still has may not be loyal for long. Episode 1 is just the beginning of this war, but it's already clear. The battlefield is crowded, the rules are gone, and the crown has blood on it. Tommy is ready to fight. But the question is, will he even see the enemy coming? Tommy Egan might be the engine driving this war, but the people around him are the unpredictable fuel, and every one of them is walking a thin line between loyalty and betrayal. As we step into Season 3, Episode 1, it becomes clear that the returning characters aren't just back, they've evolved, adapted, and in some cases turned into something Tommy might not recognize. Let's start with Diamond, the once calm and grounded voice of reason. In previous seasons, Diamond kept a low profile, trying to bring stability to the madness. But something has shifted. In the trailer, we see him standing at a street corner watching Tommy from across the road. There's no dialogue, just tension. His eyes say it all. He's no longer sure he can trust Tommy, or maybe he's tired of playing second to a man who brings nothing but blood and fire. And with Jenard always lurking, that brotherly war might not be over just yet. Could Diamond be the next one to switch sides, not out of hate, but out of survival? Then there's Jenard, angrier, hungrier, and more dangerous than ever. Season 2 saw him broken, cornered, and scrambling to hold on to scraps of power. But that kind of man doesn't disappear. He comes back harder. In the trailer, Jenard is seen meeting with someone behind a chain-link fence, passing cash under the table. That's not a deal, it's a declaration. He's building something in the shadows, and whatever it is, it's meant to hit Tommy where it hurts most. Jenard doesn't just want to beat Tommy, he wants to humiliate him, destroy his empire, and remind the streets who really owns them, but not all threats are external. One of the most intriguing questions this season is, what role will JP and DMAC play? Tommy's family ties have always been his weakness. He may be ruthless with enemies, but when it comes to blood, his heart hesitates. JP, his half-brother, has been trying to stay clean, focused on rebuilding his life. But the trailer shows him looking over his shoulder, clearly caught in something dangerous. Whether Tommy dragged him back in or he chose to step in to protect DMAC, we don't know yet. But one thing's clear, family is back in the crossfire. DMAC, young and fiery, was just getting his feet wet in Tommy's world. But now he looks seasoned. There's a shot of him holding a gun, eyes cold, wearing all black. That's not a kid anymore, that's a soldier. The streets have changed him, and Tommy may be shaping him into a mirror of his younger self. But how long before DMAC stops following orders and starts making moves of his own? That tension is building, and it could explode at any moment. Then we have Claudia Flynn. Her silence is louder than words. After the chaos of Season 2 and the loss of her father and empire, she vanished from the scene. But now, she's back and she's no longer looking for approval. One quick moment in the trailer shows Claudia sitting across from an older unknown. Man, she speaks one line, power isn't given, it's taken. That's not the Claudia we once knew. That's a strategist in the making. She may be planning her own return to the drug game or worse, aligning herself with someone even more dangerous to get revenge. Could she team up with Jenard? Could she turn on Tommy? Whatever her play is, it's going to be sharp, and it's going to hurt. But perhaps the biggest threat to Tommy isn't from his enemies, it's from those closest to him. Mireya, the new character teased at the end of last season, may seem like a romantic interest, but this is power, and nothing is that simple. The trailer shows her sharing a quiet moment with Tommy, but there's a flicker in her eyes, something's off. Is she truly with him? Or is she planted there, used as leverage by someone else? We've seen it before. Love is a weapon, and Tommy's heart has always been his blind spot. What makes this lineup of returning characters so dangerous is that they've all changed. No one's standing still. Everyone's moving with purpose, reshaped by betrayal, loss, and ambition. And the scariest part? Most of them still have something to prove. Whether it's reclaiming power, getting revenge, or just surviving, every character is playing their own game. Tommy may think he's leading the war, but the battlefield is full of former allies with hidden knives. Some still believe in him. Others want him gone, and a few? They're just waiting for the perfect moment to make their move. In Episode 1. It's not about who's on Tommy's side, it's about how long they'll stay there. Season 3 doesn't just return to the streets of Chicago, it transforms them into a battleground. And it's not the usual kind. This time it's colder, sharper, quieter. Every frame of the trailer feels like a warning. From the dim lighting to the sound design, it's clear. This is not a season about climbing the ladder. It's about kicking it down and burning the pieces. One of the first things that hits, use the visual tone, a lot of steel gray, muted blues, cold lighting, and slow camera pushes. Everything feels suffocating, boxed in. Tommy is often shown alone, walking through empty parking lots, dim alleys, and closed-door meetings. This isn't the chaotic, loud Chicago we saw in earlier seasons. This is a silent storm. And it's brewing right under the surface. Cinematography is doing something new this time. The lighting is harsher, with shadows cutting across characters' faces, symbolizing double lives and hidden agendas. A single shot of Tommy lighting a cigarette in a mirror tells you more than any line of dialogue. He's seeing a different version of himself now, and maybe we are too. Not a street hustler, not a partner, not even a soldier, but a ghost of a man who's traded love and family for absolute control. The sound design adds to this tension. There's less music, more silence. Moments of heavy breathing, distant sirens, and heartbeats pulsing like war drums. Dialogue is crisp and sparse, every word counts. Tommy doesn't speak much in the trailer, but when he does, it cuts deep. No more waiting. No more warnings, he says in one clip. That line alone sets the tone. This season isn't about deals. It's about demands. And this brings us to the big question, where is this all heading? What can we expect from Season 3, Episode 1 and beyond? Let's break it down. First, a major character death is coming, and it won't wait until mid-season. The trailer teases too many confrontations, too many threats circling Tommy's head. Someone's going down early, and it's going to spark a ripple effect. Our prediction: a betrayal from within Tommy's crew. Maybe even someone we thought was untouchable. That kind of twist would set the stage for total war and leave Tommy more paranoid than ever. Second, Chicago will fracture. The alliances we've seen won't last long. Claudia Flynn is clearly cooking up her own plan. Jenard is hungry to reclaim power. And the mysterious corporate-style characters may signal a new player stepping into the game, someone with money, clean hands, and a deadly reach. This could be the rise of a third power, something bigger than gangs and street dealers. A shadow organization, maybe a cartel with ties beyond Chicago. If so, Tommy's street-level control may no longer be enough. Third, Tommy's family will be used against him. D-Mac and JP may start Season 3 on the sidelines, but they won't stay there. Tommy's enemies will use them as pressure points, kidnappings, manipulation, or even turning one of them against him. We've seen it before. But this time, it could cost Tommy the one thing he has left that resembles a heart. Fourth end. This is key. Tommy is going to lose control. Not because he's weak, but because the game is changing faster than even he can react to. In one trailer shot, he's shown surrounded by police sirens. Another shows him staring at a body bag. He may think he's 2 steps ahead, but Season 3 is setting up a narrative where even Tommy might be outmatched. If not in muscle, then in manipulation. Power is shifting, and for the first time, Tommy might be playing defense. And finally, the most gripping possibility, a betrayal by someone we least expect. Maybe Diamond, maybe Maria, maybe even D-Mac. The trailer carefully avoids giving too much away, but the way it frames certain conversations, quick cuts, unfinished sentences, glances that linger too long tells us there's a twist coming. One that will make us question everything about loyalty in Tommy's world. Stylistically, the show is clearly leaning into something more cinematic and mature. It's less about flashy violence and more about pressure psychological warfare, calculated strikes and emotional gut punches. The fights will still come, but they'll be earned. Built up, devastating. In the end, Power Book 4. Season 3 Episode 1 is more than just a return, it's a reset. A darker chapter. One where no one is safe, no alliance is solid, and no heart is left untouched. Tommy Egan is stepping into the role he's avoided his whole life, not a partner, not a brother, not a soldier, but a king. A cold, lonely, blood-covered king in the streets of Chicago. They're the chessboard. Now the question is, who's bold enough to make the first move?